you'll have standby, so I can do that. And now
I think it's irrelevant.
it's gone. There's no standby mode.
Okay.
So you can turn it off.
Yeah.
So that doesn't get activated. And also, I've done some small things.
You know, all this stuff's great. The tech, our guys, just want to go. That's it.
Yeah, and that's all they need to do.
Because
So,
if they have any more than that, we're going to have problems.
I've standardised the screen so we can use it for all of them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So if this happens to be an 18-inch oven, for example, now we go in there and we find that
It's all set up.
it's 18-inch belt.
Beautiful.
If we go in there and do it as a 70-inch belt,
Bake chamber.
now it's a 70-inch.
Yeah. Okay.
Oops. If we want to put dominoes,
Setups.
now it's dominoes.
Yeah. Okay.
If we want to put
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut,
Do they still exist?
now it's pizza. Yeah, while I was searching through, who can I put in there? Then we can put in the
Crust.
service company logo, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
They'll be phoning you up and you go,
It's
mate,
a
it's
generic.
9 o'clock at night. What are you doing?
Yeah. So I just,
I'm in another country. You need a visa to come here.
Yeah, exactly
In
right.
fact, you'd be lucky to get a visa to come here.
I'm still working on this, but this is your calibration.
Who's CAT?
K-Tech.
Oh, okay.
K-Tech logo.
Right, sorry.
Me.
Yeah.
I mean, that changes. It just depends who it is. So, also another change there is the serial number. Remember how it was on? I don't know if you remember. There was another screen and it was all listed out there. I've got rid of all that. That's all on here now. This actually gets reported directly off the processor. So that serial number gets sent up. So if you pull a processor out, put a new one in, that would change the
Serial number. So you're like, because it's processor driven, not actually oven driven.
So it's sent up, and same with the software version. So
Okay.
now, rather than change it as a dead, you can put whatever you like. This is actually going to report up to the screen what it is. The serial number of the screen itself. Now I've got that.
Yep.
Is the serial number on there, and the version number of the software in the screen itself. Hardware version 5.1. That's we got version 5, which is the non-quick bake.
Yep.
Version 5.3 is Lincoln. And
All the various.
all the variations. The belt's direction now is on this lock screen, not on the other one. So and another cool one is the temperature trace as well.
Oh, that's actually going to be good.
So
that is actually going to be good.
Watch.
Yes, co-signing if you're having problems with your oven.
Yep.
That is actually a genuine issue. That I prefer that to cool down and all that other rubbish. That's actually going to be more important. Sorting out ovens.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, that works. It's quite interesting to watch the variations. I can't turn it on, and
You've got way too much time on your hands. Can we just get something built now and finished, please?
that's it. Well, that's it. I mean, it's done.
Done.
I'll put everything in one screen rather than having it's a Lincoln now. What do I need for Lincoln? I've got to do. And
Yeah, exactly.
everything's the logos. Everything's done. So
Go 1, 2, boom, boom, boom.
program. See you later.
That's
and that on commissioning that gets done.
Right.
The cool down set point is 107. Now there is a 2 degree hysteresis, so that will turn off at 105.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Standby set temperature should be 200, so that's related to when you press standby mode. The temperature goes at 200, and that's changeable. And we've also got the cavity alarm, which is this fellow here.
Yep.
So if we get if we get a situation where, I'll do it here, this gets hot, the motor's cooking, you watch the temperature there, fans over temp. Now there is an alarm here as well, that usually goes off, but I've actually managed to pull that cable out, so
That's probably not a bad idea.
so the alarm goes off. Anyway, once that goes
So you're not
above,
cooking the motor.
yeah.
You
So
can save
the first high limit will go. Oh, there it is. Well, kind of. That will turn red
Yep.
at 55.
Yep.
If it keeps going up, to 70, the alarm goes off and says, hey, this is something definitely wrong going on.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a 2-stage alarm. And that will also be on this front screen.
My battery's shut. Oh, I'm probably even changed my left.
So if we heat that up again, check cooling. So this fella here. Tamper switch is this little button here. So if you pull the cover off, tamper switch comes up. So
once you chip it, you'll go, is there a reason why there's a thing coming off your oven?
Yeah. So that will stay there all day long now. You put the lid back on.
Yep.
You can't. Once it's off, it's off.
It's off.
So yeah.
Please explain.
Yep. You've still got your maintenance screen, which I'll put up the top there, saying maintenance is due.
You need the Mission Impossible to open that up. The whole thing just gets
smokes
shoots
up
alkaline, and that's it. Just burns the whole lot out.
Yep.
I mean, I'm being silly, but probably not that silly.
Yeah. So I've resolved all the issues with that electromagnetic noise going through it. I've got now these little ferret rods on all the cables that filters out all the noise, especially with these two here. That's got all the outputs have got them on. I've also got these little.
You're giving them more oven than they'll ever have, or they'll ever have again.
Yeah. But I've done it, so I know it's going to be all right. Yeah. So I've built snubbers as well. So these little snubbers will go onto these coils.
Yep.
Because when you're turning coils on and off all the time, you're
belting them.
Yeah. So these snubbers will stop any more electrical noise.
Okay. And we don't have to replace them as often either. They hit so hard.
Yeah. Well, the actual
chatter
plungers will still wear out like usual over the years, but again, we might look at. I don't want to change the gas valves because then we're changing the AGA. But I'd love to put new valves in there, to be honest. But then we're going to have to go through the approval process. Which
do we?
Yeah. Well, we don't, but someone will.
Do we?
Someone will pick up on it. So we've got all these lovely diagnostic lights in here. So on the green, when we do all these lights will turn on and off. Lights all over the shop. Also the turn the conveyor off because that's going to run. We've got a whole bunch of lights across the top here, which is for the inputs, for all the fault finding. Not that you'll ever need to take the cover off, but
no. I'm assuming that 22 is ambient temperature.
22. No, that's the voltage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's a voltage regulator.
Yeah.
So that if there's any power bumps, they're not going to fry my electronics. So there's a little button here. If we press that, it actually is going down to 5 volts. So it's 5 volts is the processor voltage.
Okay. So you're enjoying this, aren't you?
22 in, 5 out.
We need to make some ovens now.
So if we were to increase that incoming voltage to 50 volts, you'll still get 5 volts out. It'll stay there.
Because once they're in the field, we're going to find other things.
Yeah.
Because we always do.
Well, that's why I've got rid of all this electrical noise. Any power spikes, anything happens, it's all done by that little board there.
So basically, it's idiot-proof.
We got two things. You got two protection down behind. There is a you can't really see it, but a switch mode power supply.
Yep.
That's filtered to. That's really filtered, and then you've got that one there which filters it again. So my boards are protected twice, if you like. Now, if and when we ever have an issue, this is a Lincoln variation, because you can see I've got yellow headers, so I can tell the difference. So what happens if the processor board has a memory issue or whatever, we get hold of that and you can do it in place, and we just prise him out, chuck it away, plug another one in.
Technicians aren't going to like this.
So you don't have to take this whole thing out unless there's a problem with the SSRs or something like that. So you get hold of the new one, line him up.
You didn't say anything to that. Noted.
What?
Techs are not going to like that very much.
Why not?
Because they'll be in and out far too fast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they will be. Provided this is all software based, so it has to have the right software on it in the first place. So you can't just whack in a non-program.
So really, if somebody's buying these, they should buy a couple of those for spares.
For spare parts, yeah.
Just in case you.
So in here, I've got 50 of these boards. These are complete ones.
Yeah.
So there's bucket loads of them. I've got another.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Bench. Yeah.
Something might happen. You might get run over by a bus. Now what?
Yeah.
My oven's rooted, and nobody's going to have any idea how to deal with that.
Exactly. Yeah. So these are all spare parts. So I'll have interface boards as a spare part.
Yep.
I'll have these are complete. So you're better off having a complete one, to be honest. Or you can get the processor boards as a spare part on its own.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything else is this is the main part.
That's the brains.
All these bits here.
That's off.
They're all generic.
Lawrence and Hanson.
Yeah, wherever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same gas valve, same combustion blower, same ignition module.
Yep.
I've also added a circuit breaker in there now, so it's all self-contained. Probably the other one would be the stepper board. Need that as a spare part.
Yeah.
And a motor.
Yeah.
Conveyor motor.
I mean, you can still get conveyor motors to fit, but
not in this system. No, that it is what it is.
Okay.
So you can't put anything else in there.
All right. So basically, if they're going to have spare parts, they should have one of those, two of those, and the rest of it you can buy down at your local.
Yep. And the whole box. I mean, I've got all like in there.
Yeah.
This stuff's for production, but you can keep that if you like. Everything's plugged in.
Yeah.
Unscrew it, take it out, plug a new one in, you're good to go. But if it's a fault with the processor,
what's the cost of a board to retail?
Well, the boards are. Well, I didn't book up because it's so much easier to reference everything. The boards, see, conveyor, pressure switches, control box. Oh, laminate, that's not that one. SSRs, fan card. IO board HW5 with MCU. So $8.93.
That's retail?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's about what I expect. In fact, I thought it'd be up around $1,200 to be honest.
So that's just for that.
Yeah, I know.
The complete board is a bit more. I thought it was at the front there somewhere.
Lucy controller, $2,251.
Yeah. So a complete. That's most of that's labour, to be honest.
Yeah.
So again, I've made it the old version. So this old version here.
Will you have discounts off that for traders, like for techs and whatever?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what I'd probably do is just initially just have consignment parts and send them over there. Like,
yeah.
I've got a few of them there. I don't want them not to have anything over there. So I say, here, boys, here's some parts, and if you need them, you need them.
Yep. It's not arm and leg stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Because you don't want clients in the early stages getting.
Well, exactly.
stuck.
Yeah. So I've got these motors.
Where do you need the glass fuses for?
In here is a fuse for the 24 volt system for the burner control.
Right. Okay.
So I throw a spare in there because nothing worse than.
Oh, absolutely. The whole place comes to a stop for a 3M glass fuse on a Friday.
I don't like fuses. I prefer these, and that's why I've got these at the front. But you can't use. Or you can, but a fuse is better in that situation.
Yep.
So things like motors.
Yeah, because if somebody's buying 3 or 4 of these, they probably should get spares.
Yeah.
It's just an investment.
And I'll even do a board that's populated as well, not just a.
Yeah. Here's your board, mate.
Here's your board, nothing on it. But,
Have fun.
Yeah.
Now we've got to buy the extra bits to go on it.
So this is the old version. Now you can see the confusion in there, and that's why I just didn't want to do that.
No.
So I'm actually going to rip. This is the second one I've done. I'll rip that out and
start again
and put the new boards in.
Okay, cool. All right, we're going to.
This part here is the key. That's full out.
Well, I mean, it depends. Do you want people in that board? And that's something you need to have a internal discussion with yourself. Yeah. Do you want them accessing the board, or
if they know what they're doing, you just pull it out, plug a new one in, away they go.
Well, they all know what they're doing.
As long as it's got a serial number on there.
Did I mention I had a client that I actually said if I have to come out again, we're welding it. I had to come out again. I welded his control box, so he couldn't get into it.
Well,
he said, I don't know why I do it. I said, I know why you do it, but if you want me to give you warranty any further than today, we're welding that box up. So if you get the temptation, you can't go in there.
Yep.
And I had to stick weld, and we stick welded it.
Really?
True story.
Well, I mean, you can open that up and look in there and look at all the pretty lights, but that's all you're going to get.
Yeah.
This is more software based than.
Oh, absolutely. But some of these guys just that's the discussion you have to have. Are we selling this, or are we just selling the CPU?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, changing that whole board isn't difficult.
Mind you, the CPU is a lot easier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've made these so you can still unplug everything.
Yep.
You know, it can be done, but you got these little screws. It's like fiddly.
Yeah.
There's no need to change that interface board unless there's a problem with.
I mean, what are we
something else
talking
on it.
about? Because you've got that much protection on there. I mean, you could get bloody 15, 20 years before you need to do it.
Yeah. Well, the thing with microprocessors is.
And the other thing is, this is airtight, so there's going to be no dust.
Totally sealed.
It'll be a complete sealed unit.
Yep.
So
Yep.
the odds of you're going to I mean, you might have a fault inherent, but you'll probably find that fairly fast, as in will happen in the first few weeks.
Exactly, yeah. Well, the Lincoln version that I have done, I actually got this one done for a client. I've got to go and do it. This one here has got a temperature sensor on the thing itself. So if this box gets too hot, that same alarm will go off.
Right. So where's this one going?
That's for the TFT screen, the program. So
Right.
when we update the software in the processor, we also want to update, or not necessarily, but we also want to make sure we've got the latest software in the screen as well.
Yep. Yep.
Because if I use that on that board, some functions ain't going to work.
No.
So you want to get them compatible.
Yep. All right, we're going to call it because that's 16 minutes and that's going to take